Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tommy Zamp and I play guitar and get the let out. We are currently in Charlottesville, Virginia at the Paramount Theater. And today I wanted to take a moment to start my new series, In the Vault. Now, I talked about this in a previous video, kind of explaining what this is, so I'll keep this short. But I thought it was a good idea. It could be cool. People ask me about my guitars all the time. That what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one guitar out of my vault and just go in depth. I'm going to tell you what songs I use it on, the settings I have to kind of recreate some of the sounds of Jimmy Page and in a live situation. So today is the first episode. So before I get into it, you can see it's a Telecaster. It's this one right here. But before I get into it, I wanted to thank you all for the support that you have given me so far. I started this channel in September of 2023. Well, I had it for a while, but I didn't really do much with it. But in September of 2023, I set a goal that I was going to put out a video once a week for an entire year. And late September came around, 2024. I hit that goal, and I decided I'm going to set a new goal, and the new goal is 5,000 subscribers within the next year. So if you like what you see, if you watch some of the other previous videos and you're digging this, go ahead and do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe. It helps me out. I really do appreciate it. And if you're into Jimmy Page and rock and roll and guitars and, tasty guitar licks, this might be a good channel for you to watch. So anyway, now that that's all out of the way, let's get into In the Vault. Let's get into In the Vault. All right, yeah, we'll figure out a catchphrase. I'll make it work. So first up in this series, guys, this is my 2023 Fender Ultra Telecaster, a Chicago Music Exchange exclusive color. Also in Andertons in the UK, they had this plum color as well. I know if you guys follow the Andertons YouTube, Danish Pete is a big purple telly guy. That had no... I didn't pick this because of that. It just happens to be purple, and he's a big purple telly guy. But the other color this comes in with the exclusive colors is Mystic Pine Green, which is I was this close to pulling the trigger on that one. But I like purple. I think it's cool. I'm a big fan of Prince, and hey, whatever. This guitar has an ebony fretboard, 22 frets, ebony fretboard. I'll do some close-up shots of it as well. But take a look at that color. I know it's still shiny. You can see the reflection from the mirror off of it. Ebony fretboard. It has the locking tuners on the back. It's the first guitar that I've ever had that has locking tuners on it. And I don't know. I know a lot of guys don't like them, but I think they're great. I think they're fine. And it's a string through body. Now I know I've been told some of the other Ultra series, the bridge actually has a saddle string through, but this one does not. It's the body through. I actually like the string through body tellies. I feel like you feel more resonance with it. Could be up here. My mind could be playing tricks on me. I don't know, but yeah, string through. There it is. What else about this? Has noiseless pickups. We play a lot of noisy rooms, noisy venues, with the electrical not not being great. So even with everything that I have, voltage attenuators and the Amp RX system that I'm running, that 60 cycle hum, it's awful with single coil pickups. And I'd say 99.9% of the time, this thing is super dead dog quiet. It's unbelievable. I could not be happier with the way this guitar plays, the way it sounds, and the way it looks. So it checks all the right boxes. It has a modern D-shaped neck, and it fits my hand profile really well. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This is probably the best telly neck that I've ever played. Hands down. I love it. I absolutely love it. Every aspect about it. It feels good. It looks good. Sounds good. Smells good. It's good. All right. So my signal chain, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run down a couple, run over a few songs that I use this for. But I want to tell you how I'm getting my sound today. This is my dressing room on tour fly rig setup. Currently, it's just you can see, I'll take a photo of it. It's the poly tuner just to make sure I'm in tune, as you should be in tune. And I'm using a Universal Audio Lion 68. I love this pedal. I think this pedal is amazing. I've played through plenty of real 68 Marshalls, 69 Marshalls. Paul Hammond's got 25 vintage Marshall heads. I mean, you can have a field day at his spot listening to them. And the tone, the feel, the dynamic range of all of the Universal Audio amp pedals, the Lion 68, Enigmatic. I did a video of that. You can watch it right here. The Dream 65 I have, and the Ruby. That I don't have the Knuckles. I haven't gotten that one yet. And if there's another one out, I don't know. I haven't played any of those, but I'm sure they're outstanding. Big fan of UA. All of their stuff just sounds really good, and it's easy to use, and I think they're all great. So yeah, that's it. This pedal into this guitar into a tuner into this Lion 68. The Ditto looper is just there for dressing room jams. If I'm working on something, I want to work on a couple of licks, and then it's going into the Volt 476 that I have right into Luna. So it's a whole Universal Audio shebang. They are not sponsoring this, by the way. This is just stuff that I've spent all of my hard-earned dollar bills on. Yo. Some of the tones that I'll be getting. Let's just go through all of Zeppelin records. So there's 14 songs that I use this specific guitar on. And I'll just tell you what they are right now. So on Zep 1, it's Good Times, Dazed and Confused, Communication Breakdown, and I Can't Quit You, Baby. And I think what I really want to go over is, first off, the tone that I'm getting. It's just a basic Marshall sound. Here it is, right here. Okay, so I'm not dialing this in to sound exactly like every individual song. I don't have time for that. So this is just a kind of across the board tone for all of this stuff. All right, and I know on the first record he didn't play Marshalls. I'm aware, so bear with me on this, on the rig that I'm using. So anyway, so for this song, I'll play a few riffs. Roll the tone down. We're gonna go into Good Times. Ready? Here we go. And then after that, what did I say? Dazed and Confused, Communication Breakdown. So roll the tone down a little more on the bridge pickup for Dazed. So I wanted to touch on something before I get too far away, and I got to take these off, otherwise I feel like I'm yelling. Since there's no amplifier in the room, I have everything running. I need the headphones, otherwise I can't hear the guitar at all. Your tone knob, this little thing right here, if you're not familiar with it, you need to make best friends with this. You can make your guitar sound 100 different ways just by rolling your tone knob and your volume knob and selecting a pickup. The versatility it's almost endless. Now I know that should have had a fuzz on it for days, but like I said, I'm bare bones in this right now. But this is what you can do. If the tone is all the way up on Dazed and Confused, this is what it sounds like. Too bright, right? Roll that tone down, knock the volume off just a hair, and here it is. it's getting there, you know? So little things like that, adjustments on your guitar, because you're not going to run up to your amplifier in between every song and adjust things. Use your guitar to make it work. Same thing with communication. I don't have the tone knob all the way up. And the trick that I've done is Paul Hammond showed me this trick. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. I've talked about this before. But you see where the screw is right there? When you have it all the way open, take it off and move the actual knob to where the screw is facing forward. This way, when you turn it this way, you can see it, and you can have you'll have an idea of where your tone is set. Because otherwise, it's like kind of a crapshoot. So if you have it facing all the way down, is off, then you can have it facing straight back, have it facing straight up at you, and then facing that way is full on. So you have like different settings if you want to have different tones. Like for instance, on the same thing with your volume. So for example, I use that same method for the volume knob. So like on 10 Years Gone, if I got to roll it off and I want to clean the guitar up, and then I want to roll it back up and get all that volume again and the dirt, there it is. So your volume and your tone and your dynamics, you can have one guitar rule them all if you want, but you'll have different tones obviously with different guitars. But there's just you have options. So utilize all the tools that are within the guitar. Don't go buying endless pedals that you don't need. Like you can make one guitar straight into an amp sound amazing. So anyway, I feel like I've digressed. Another let's see, communication breakdown. And this is all in standard tuning, by the way. Such a cool riff, right? And I Can't Quit You, Baby. I don't have a little slap delay, but that lick is... blues all day long. It's probably... we don't really do that song very often, but when we do, I love it. And so I'm running actually this guitar into my Vox and my Supro. And I've got this great slapback delay dialed in. I really enjoy it. It's there's certain songs we don't do very often, so when they do hit the set list and you're like, oh, it's exciting. Not that playing Zeppelin isn't exciting every night, don't get me wrong, but sometimes when you have mint chocolate chip ice cream every night, it's awesome, but then you have Rocky Road one night and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Moving on. So that was Zep 1. Zep 2, I only use this on the Lemon Song. That's it. The Lemon Song, I play bridge pickup, and again, I roll the tone down, because listen to it with the tone all the way up. It's too bright. You got to bring that tone down. Okay. Zeppelin 3, I only use this on Immigrant. Same thing, bridge pickup, tone not all the way up, just about facing directly at me. That's right. All right. Now, I know someone's going to say it in the comments that you should be using a Tele for the Stairways solo. But I don't. I've talked about this before. I use my Les Paul. It sounds amazing. I like it that way. You'll be okay. That being said, I don't use this guitar on anything for Zep 4. I don't. All the parts that I cover on those songs call for a Les Paul or an acoustic or something else. And there's a couple more records that I actually don't use this guitar on at all. So moving on, we got House of the Holy. I use this guitar on Jamaica as well as No Quarter. So for Jamaica, I only cover the solo, and I have the tone basically all the way up. maybe a little kick down, middle pickup, and I've got the cool thing about this too is that it has a selector. So if I push this in on the volume while it's in the middle position, it's basically, it puts these in parallel. So I'm using this as it's like a humbucker. So here's some sound examples of that. You know, that's with it activated. Back to just the middle position. So you can see by putting them both together and acting as a humbucker, it definitely thickens it up, you know? Without it, with it. And you'll notice a difference on your lead lines too. So depending on the room, depending on that, sometimes I like the thicker. It really, like, it gives it that extra little bit of juice to kind of cut through the room. And a lot of the rooms are different, so just kind of play to that. But generally speaking, now that I think about it, that does sound better with it out as opposed to in. Yeah, that's too dark. So yeah, I have that out. And what else did I say was the next song? It was Jamaica and No Quarter. So I play this solo with Hammond. We go back and forth, but I also do those stabs. So cool. Think about that. I'm in a studio and I'm gonna write this song, and I've got this guitar part, and this is it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Adds to the brilliance that is Jimmy Page. All right, the brilliance that is Jimmy Page. I'm not going to play the solo for you now. It would just sound out of context for me. But if I do, I do it on the neck pickup with the tone all the way up. That's kind of general tone. Very cool parts, and I love that Hammond and I kind of like back and forth on that. And his fuzz tone that he gets on that with his Les Paul, his 59 Les Paul, by the way, sounds incredible. Vintage Marshall stacks, real Marshalls. Man, guy's got all the gear. He does, Sir Paul Edwin Hammond. All right, let's see. The next record is Physical Graffiti, and I play this guitar on Houses of the Holy, Down by the Seaside, and 10 Years Gone. So, Houses of the Holy, I just play the solo, but, you know, I guess I could be doubling. I could double him on that, but I think we've talked about this, and I'm pretty sure it's just one guitar doing all of that. Could be wrong. You can let me know in the comments. I'll go back and listen to it. But yeah, I played the solo on that. And then Down by the Seaside song is beautiful. I love playing that. And so what I like about this pedal too is, now that we're in the talking about dynamics, for Down by the Seaside and 10 Years Gone, the thing that I like about the Lion 68 is it's full on, you know, that's rock guitar tone. That sounds awesome. This thing, it even works with your dynamics. So if I roll the volume down, I switch to pickups, and I go like this. It's acting as like a real amp does. So that's one of the reasons why I am a big fan, because you can play dynamically and it reacts like a real amplifier does. So for me, sitting in a dressing room like this, it really comes in handy. If I don't have a combo amp or anything I tour with, I just try and keep it as simple as I can. And with that being said, let me make sure this is still running. It is. Okay, good. Yeah, it works out well. So down by the C side, starts off in F. Do-doom. It's beautiful. I play the rhythm parts on that, and I play the main solo. When that happens, it kicks over that A minor, and then it kicks in with a... and then it moves on from there. But it's basically a lot of blues in A minor, and he's cooking. So it's a lot of fun. But again, with no drums, no other rhythm sections, if me just playing it would sound, I don't know, kind of empty. So maybe I'll do a whole video on just some of the solos and stuff that I use. But to keep this moving, one of my favorite songs of all time from Led Zeppelin is 10 Years Gone. And for that, again, volume is full blast. It's rolled back a little bit, clean it up, take a little bit of the grit off of it. The tone, it's full blast. And also, depending on where you play around the actual pickups themselves, I'm in the middle position, you'll hear a difference. So if I play back by the bridge, it's brighter and more brittle. You hear that? All right, now if I play up by the neck, now what I try and do in the live situation, I try and find that same spot every room, the same spot on my guitar in every room that's going to sound the same. So it's usually about right here. Now, again, we always have a sound check. So I'm able to, if that song is on the set, then even if we don't really run that at sound check that often, so I'll make a point to grab my guitar. I run my Marshall and my Orange on that song. And when the solo comes in, I turn on the Vox, my AC30. So I have 3 amps rolling at one time. And it just sounds, to quote Gregory Koch, it's delicious. It really does. It sounds, to me, it sounds great. I mean, you know, Marshall, Orange, and a Vox, just punching that mid-range right up the center. Oh, it's glorious. Glorious. All right. But yeah, so the one good thing I like about this guitar and is the options that the noiseless pickups, again, I've talked about, but it just plays really well. That's it. Gets all nice and dirty, but still, you can clean it up. So, not to make this whole video about your dynamics, but it's also something to keep in mind. Moving on, let's see. Up next, we have Presence. Unfortunately, there's not one song on Presence that I use this guitar on. So, we'll get to those tunes in a later video when I grab a different guitar. Let's see. Then we have Into the Outdoor. I have my notes right here, so I'm not just totally ignoring you. In Through the Outdoor, I use this guitar on Southbound Suarez and Hot Dog. And for that, I have, yeah, it's in the bridge pickup, tones up, and it's That's a really fun song to play. Not many people know that tune, but it's cool. I dig it. There's not much going on guitar-wise. It's pretty simplistic, but all the parts are there and they work and they sound really cool and it's fun to play. And Hot Dog. So Hammond does the little country lick in the beginning, that whole section. I'm just kind of filling in the back. So there's a lot of just me playing chords. I roll the tone down a little bit, and the volume I pull back just to cut a lot of that high end and that grit, because it's not like a full blast, you know, rhythm part underneath it. It's just kind of. So it's a very country walking, you know, rhythm section. So yeah, Hot Dog. By the way, it's John's favorite song. So when you see John, not only do you say hi John, but you also tell him that you're a big fan of Hot Dog as well, just like everybody. I mean, it's a great song. It's fun to play. And last but not least, the 14th song that I play on this guitar is Traveling Riverside Blues. And I only play the guitar solo. So I come out and I am in the middle position, and tone and volume are up, and I'm doing a. So that's my part. And I am using the Marshall and the Orange on that as well. Now, on the first record, Jimmy didn't actually play Marshalls. He used his old 59 Coronado Supro, I believe, which the Black Magic from Supro is it's copied after. And so when I was trying to figure out how to make these songs cut across live as close to the sound as close live as they do on the record, I wanted to try and get some amps that were going to be that I would be able to get as close to the sound of the record, but also be distinctly different than Hammond. So then Chris out front could have a good blend, a good mix. So anything on the first record, I use the Supro and the Vox, and I run them in stereo. And after that, it's primarily the Marshall and the Orange. Now, certain songs like the Lemon song, I use the Vox and the Supro. Hot Song for Nowhere, I use the Vox and the Supro. Obviously not on this guitar, but I have the ability to pick and choose. I don't typically ever run like the Marshall and the Supro, or the Marshall and just the Vox. So it's a Marshall and Orange are in stereo, the Supro and the Vox are in stereo, and then I bring a third one in sometimes for like a solo, just to fill up some mid-range frequency if I need to, some low end somewhere if I feel like it needs it. And I really only do that on like In My Time of Dying, the Stairway solo, 10 Years Gone. There's a few actual solos that I have more than just 2 amps running. And then at the end of the night, I just click all 4 of them on because, hey, it's a whole lot of love and we're having a good time and let's get loud. That's what I say. I think that's gonna do it, guys. I think I you know, if you have any questions about this guitar or the parts that I'm playing or anything in general, please feel free. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you dig these videos. And again, this is the first one, so if I need to loop back and do another one to touch on some things about this guitar itself, then I will. Just let me know in the comments below if I didn't get to something that you wanted me to talk about. And I don't know what guitar I'm going to do next, so if you've watched my rig rundown, I'll put a link to it right here. And you let me know in the next day or two. Maybe I'll do the Les Paul Special next, or maybe I'll do my Burst. Maybe I'll do an acoustic guitar. I don't know. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much again for checking out my channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying this as much as I am, because I'm really having a good time with this. The support, all the comments, you guys, you're all very, very kind. Even the ones that aren't, you're still nice. Thanks for watching. You know? Well, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe. Peace and love. That's it. Just more of this. That's what we need. We need more of this. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.